The bandwidth for this episode of F2FHQ is sponsored by the Firearms Radio Network, firearmsradio.tv.
Welcome to the F2FHQ podcast. I'm your host, Carol Salva of the Firearms Radio Network. In this podcast, we're chronicling our journeys from fat to fit to fat again. That's where I am. And we talk about pursuing a healthier lifestyle, not only in diet, but in all areas of life. Hello, long-lost friend. Sorry it's been so long since I put out a podcast. But guess what? My head is not in the game. I'm just being honest. It's really, really not. I fell off the wagon. I totally fell off the wagon, and it ran over me. And then it drove back by, and people kept asking me to get back on the wagon with them. And I'm like, no, I want to stay down here in the gutter. Seriously, I'm halfway through that master's program that I told you about a long time ago. I've got another 9 months of that left. And it's been 9 months of excuses of why I don't have to exercise because I'm so overloaded. And I am, but a lot of people are busy. So I don't find the time to make food, and I don't find the time to work out. And it all just kind of spirals out of control. And it's crazy. I know, it makes perfect sense. But the further I get away from the things Jeff Fry told me to do, the more weight I gain. And just to give you a recap, I had lost, back in 2009, I'd gained weight every year, up and down, up and down, up and down. And every year I ended up, even if I lost the weight, I ended up heavier than I was the year before. And so I was like about 30 pounds overweight, and I lost 30 pounds. It took me 6 months of starving and doing unhealthy things and cardio. But I did lose the weight. And then about a year after that of being miserable, I joined this show and, trying to keep off. I ended up around, a 20-pound weight loss. I was about 120, and 122 is where I kind of stay. And that, that was okay. I felt good there. It's not like people say, oh, you were 145. That's not that big. And maybe it's not, but again, every year gaining a little weight, you start realizing that every year, in 10 years, you're going to be another 20 pounds heavier, and it's going the wrong direction. So what I've found is that it's really hard to keep it off if you lose weight, the maintenance. And I'm not the only one on this show that talks about how difficult the maintenance is. And so remembering that is one of the reasons that I am not interested every day when I wake up to go work out or to eat healthy, because geez, it's gonna be really hard to lose this and then to keep it off. Is it really worth it? I mean, it should be, because I don't fit in any of my clothes. I say that, and all of my clothes that I pull out when I put on a little weight, those don't fit. I've gone up 3 pant sizes since I started this show. And so there you go. What kind of a freaking health show am I doing? We need to change it from fit to fat because I'm going the wrong way. But I'm trying to keep it real. I'm trying to let you know where I am, where my head is right now, where I am in my journey. And I hit rock bottom. I did, because again, it's the heaviest I've been in a couple of years. And so even I've got a very sweet husband who really likes curvy women. That doesn't help because I hope he fastens his seatbelt. There are more curves ahead. The curves are getting bigger. No, I've got a lot of support. I have no excuses. I just need to get off my butt and get in gear. You know what the dangerous thing is that I've learned all this stuff over a couple years. And so things that keep ringing in my head are, you don't want to go and walk. You don't want to go and run. All that activity isn't going to help you lose weight, because it's not about the activity. It's about what you put in your mouth. Well, to a certain extent, right? We know the exercise is important. I mean, heck, the exercise is important because lately, since I haven't been exercising for months, there's so many pains I never had before. My back hurts all the time. I've got this weird hitch in my giddy up right around my hip. I've got ankle pain that I've never had before. It's crazy deterioration that starts to set in. I'm 46 and I shouldn't feel so rickety, but I do. It's like my body's all settling and not. Caroline, my friend, was telling me that her physical therapist told her that, like, when you exercise regularly, your joints are like lubricated, and when you don't, everything starts to tighten up and get stuck. And that's kind of how I feel. It's harder to get out of bed and everything. So there's one reason I should get out there. The other thing is it makes you feel good. I seem to remember that if you exercise, it helps you eat better and it helps you stay in a better frame of mind and you make better choices. See, I'm none of that. I'm not having any of that. And you know, okay, so what about the other side of that? If you know that it's a lot, 90% what you put in your mouth, why am I continuing to put bad things in my mouth? And again, there's the danger of knowing things. I'm like, okay, well, if I just have carbs at night when ghrelin is high, I'll satisfy that ghrelin hormone and I'll probably slip into a little ketogenic state overnight again and everything will be fine in the morning. It's just not working out. That's not helping me keep the weight off. It would if I kept to it better, like what Jeff Fry recommended if I was going to be inactive for a while and can't really attend to my diet, was just to try to stay high fat as much as possible throughout the day. And then in the evening, if you're going to have carbs, we're talking about some vegetables and maybe have a carb night once a week. I'm just not able to stick to that right now. That's not true. It's not I'm not able. I'm not willing to stick to that right now. So I start by going, okay, well, I'm going to have carbs. But I remember when Dr. Patel was on, he said just give him breakfast. Just eat a healthy breakfast, high-fat breakfast. But, I mean, I think he was talking about obese patients that if they decided to drastically change their diet and they started having a better breakfast, pushing carbs later in the day, they start to see a huge improvement. And I know people do, but I'm not at that point where just eating a healthy breakfast is going to make up for all this crap I'm eating the rest of the day. It's like I'm just picking and choosing cafeteria-style paleo or cafeteria-style healthy. I ate a biscuit the other day at work, and a guy called me a hypocrite. What? I never talked to this guy about food, ever. But I think for the longest time he saw me eating healthy and I bring things like seaweed to work and stuff like that. So if I decide to eat a cookie or whatever I was eating, he's like, that's not you. And so then I get annoyed and like I'm being stereotyped as a health freak and I'm just going to eat crap all the time then. It's really a weird thing. It's a really weird thing. But I know some basic principles that I should start sticking to. And the first one is that I'm going to start exercising more. That's one of the reasons I'm wearing workout clothes right now. If you're on YouTube, you can see, I show you my love handles. These are my new love handles I'm standing at, showing right here. Side view. Nice belly, right? No. I'm not in my first trimester, and I don't even gain weight in my stomach, but I guess now I do. This is new and fun. I've got back pain from trying to suck in my stomach because I have big hips and thighs and butt. Oh, and that new song about I'm all about that bass, blah, 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 that's not helping either. Because in my mind, I'm like, hey, guys like a little more booty to hold at night. Come on. That doesn't mean to go and get the butter breadsticks at Olive Garden like you did the other day with the lasagna and go, you know what, guys like a little more booty. Not good reasoning. Not a good plan. The only thing I've done in the last year that I can say that I'm proud of is that I had committed to that Tough Mudder that Jack Templin headed up in Dallas, and that was a blast. But I went into it untrained and skipped most of the obstacles, and the very next weekend I did the Gritty Goddess, which was fantastic. Gritty Goddess Galveston, Texas. They're going to have another one in April, and you guys need to check that out. Think about doing it. It's an awesome 5K for women and kids. And yeah, so we're going to do a Gritty Goddess show as soon as Claire, who is one of the organizers, can come on with me, because I have some footage from that y'all enjoy. But I'm going to put a few things out in the spring, and hopefully, knowing those are coming up, people in this community that are keeping the community alive are inspiring me. And again, I wore these workout clothes because I'm going to stop the podcast right now. I'm at a hotel in San Marcos, Texas, and I have no excuse. I have no kids here. I have time. I'm tired. I'm very, very tired, but I can go down and get in a workout at the hotel gym. I'm going to go do that, and then I'm going to come back and do the rest of the show. And I'm positive that if I make myself do this workout, that I'll come back going, you know what, that felt good, blah, 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 like all those people say. So yeah, I do want to shout out to Melina Hunt, who is my Twitter friend. She's fantastic. And she keeps mentioning me in tweets. And I'm really hoping that I get to meet her, because I am going to go ahead and submit a proposal to Paleo FX. And if they accept my proposal, I'm for sure going. And she just said she was going to go, and I'll get to meet her. And she's at Melina Hunt if you are on Twitter. So at MILENAHUNT. And Melina is very cool. She tweets out really cool things where she usually mentions Carb Night and Kiefer and Andrea Jangle and Dr. Patel and me. She puts us all on the same thing. So that's an honor. So rock on, girlfriend. I'm glad you're still motivated. She might be a Body IO trainer someday, she says, if she realizes her dreams. So kudos, girlfriend. Keep it up. Also, Heather, who is my new, I think her name on MyFitnessPal is Oh Hey Heather. It's cute. And she wrote me, and she said, she sent me a friend request. I'm just loving your podcasts. I'm really enjoying them. And a few people lately, I'm sorry I don't have your names in front of me, have done that. And they're like, I'm trying to get caught up. And I'm like, oh my God, don't go too fast. Because once you catch up to where I am now, it's very depressing. But I don't want to do that. I want to turn it around. And looking at that, I'm only halfway through this master's. There's no way I can't wait another 9 months and put on another 15 pounds. I gotta start making and chipping away at it and getting it down. And then I can do podcasts complaining about how hard it is to keep it off. That's fine. But at least I'll fit back in my damn clothes. All right, I'm gonna go down to the gym. And I'll see you guys in just a bit and tell you how the workout went and how I feel. All right, bye. Okay, I'm back. I actually did a workout. It wasn't that bad. It was quite lame, I want to say, compared to how I used to work out, but it was something. It was a good 20 minutes of upper and lower body. I have to give a shout out to the Athletic Fox, Rachel Guy, because I joined her group and I'm not doing any of the exercises. But when I do go to the gym, I know a better way to exercise because her videos, and she's on the Facebook page with us a lot. And I've sent her videos of me doing squats and things, and she critiques them. And so at least when I go, I feel like I'm effective. And, it was so disappointing. I went in there and all they had were medicine balls and treadmills. I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go to dinner. But, it's no excuses tonight. So I did squats, like goblet squats with those medicine balls. I did bridge ups. I did push-ups. I did planks. I did, modified push-ups on my knees like a girl. God, I've fallen so far. And, but just like I thought, I swear, just like I thought, I do. I know it sounds so hokey, but I feel so much better. So much better, even after a lame 20-minute workout. You know, it wasn't that lame. I was down there. I worked up a little bit of a sweat. And I was the only one in the gym. And yeah, you know, I need to do more of that because it might not be a decent calorie burn. I might not even be building that much muscle here and there, but it really does change your frame of mind. Even the water that I was drinking, I was like, God, that's what water tastes like. I forget because I haven't even been drinking water. Like, I've been doing nothing good for myself. So I went and got some dinner. Let me show you my dinner. Last night dinner, like I told you, I had Olive Garden and lots of breadsticks and lasagna and stuff like that, and I've been eating crazy. So I went ahead and went to Red Lobster, which was the closest place in walking distance, because I made some deals with myself when I took the break a second ago that I was going to try to take the stairs, and then when I go to dinner, I'm going to walk to dinner because there's a lot of restaurants in the area. And so what was in the area was Red Lobster, you know, not wild caught anything, I don't think. But I do have some salmon. I have a salad. Yes, it's iceberg lettuce. It's not great, but it's better than those breadsticks. And I got this platter with some grilled. I've got, again, if you're looking on YouTube, there's some salmon here, and it's not wild caught. And I have some crab legs and shrimp and broccoli. It's, you know, it's about 1,000 times better than what I had last night. Can't go to Paleo FX talking about this stuff because people would freak out. But it's a better choice. It's a better choice for me than what I've been eating lately. So... And, you know, if I hadn't decided I was going to do the podcast tonight, I promise you I would not have done the workout. And I would have said, just what's one more night of eating carby bread and pasta and stuff? I mean, what's one more night going to hurt me? And it might not hurt me that much, but now I'm one day closer to fitting back into my clothes. Jeez. And, yeah, it's really not about the weight that I've gained because I'm still probably in the range that is acceptable, and my doctor probably wouldn't freak out or anything like that. But it's the rate at which you start to put weight back on. I say I'm not doing anything, but I am holding back some. I am trying to wait until the evening to eat my carbs and stuff like that. But slowly but surely, I'm just even blowing that off. So you just slip further and further away from what you know is healthy for you. And I can't stress enough the frame of mind being the big game changer is. And I'm still kind of, you know, I walked out of the gym going, yeah, well, I could still go for some lasagna right now. It's highly addictive, the carbohydrate, for me, not for everybody. But breads and pastas and grains are very, very, I'm really craving them. What I'm really craving lately is Halloween candy. I ate so much Halloween candy, and now I'm constantly looking for a Reese's or some M&Ms or something like that. And I didn't have that 6 months ago. So that's a bummer. And again, I'm not drinking water, so you don't miss the water. It's hard to even get started again with that. But I'm gonna commit. God, I gotta find my Fitbit. I really have to. I really have to get my Fitbit back on. I'm gonna commit to a couple of things here. I'm gonna commit to parking further away, because it was very decent to walk over to the restaurant and walk back, and I was wondering how many steps I got in there. And I'm going to commit to just trying to get more daily activity, because I'm being realistic. I'm probably not going to get in as many workouts as I should. So if I can be a little more active on my non-workout days, I bet I'm going to get in maybe if I try 1 to 2 workouts a week. I bet you I can commit to 2 workouts. Dang it, I guess I could commit to whatever. But I do have to balance. Like, my kids have a lot of activities, and I'm not willing to put them second right now. Excuses. I could get up 15 minutes earlier and do some exercises on the floor. Jeez. Everybody can do something, right? Okay, I'm going to commit to do something. I don't know what yet. Write me at carol@fat2fithq.com and I will write you back what I've done. I'm going to post the new link to the MyFitnessPal community. Thank you, Howie and John and everybody in there that is keeping that going. They're having Google Hangouts and everything. I'm so lame that I've not been there. But you know, when you fall off the wagon and you fall far off the wagon, you just feel so guilty even hanging out with real positive people. So I haven't had a lot of time, so I've just been avoiding it, which is just horrible because that's exactly what I need. Everybody there is super positive and will help me get my head in the game. So I've checked in once or twice, and I'm going to be checking in more. Before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Heron and Arturo from our community, from our MyFitnessPal community, because they stuck with Jeff Fry Nutrition, and both of them are having amazing results. I'm so ridiculously jealous. They do check in with me from time to time, and both have lost a ton of body fat and are super, like he suggested Heron actually pull back on her workouts. And if you're not friends with these guys, go into the MyFitnessPal community and find Heron, Heron, or Arturo, who is her boyfriend. They're both in there. They're both very active. You can look in my friend group and find them. Or message me and I'll hook you up. But they're so great to follow because it's a couple who have hired Jeff Fry and are seeing amazing results. So kudos, Jeff Fry Nutrition. We all know it works. We know it works if we stick with it. So they're a great couple to follow their journey, and I'm hoping to have them on the show to talk to us. And while we're talking about Heron and Arturo, Arturo posted an article. I'll put it in the show notes, but he posted it as a thread on the MyFitnessPal community chat board. It was really interesting. Angela Neal also commented on it because it was kind of ridiculous. It was where the government is weighing in on this clean eating and how it can become an eating disorder. And there was a whole write-up about how clean eating is, can just become an obsessive thing for people. So they're talking about orthorexia. And, this was brought up at PaleoFX last year. Mark Sisson, who I adore, Mark Sisson was on a panel that I was grateful to be on with some other paleo experts like Mark Sisson on there. And the question was, I guess our panel discussion was don't let the perfect ruin your good. So that's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. If you can't be perfect at this clean eating, then are we not being good because we can't be perfect? Or are we feeling like if we're not perfect, then it's not good enough? Or are we just encouraging, at least the paleo community, are they just encouraging people to go beyond good and needing to be perfect? And so it's really interesting, because you do have food snobs and you do have people, and Jeff Fry himself says he really kind of suffered from that for a long time, where he just wouldn't put anything into his mouth. It's not that it's not a real disorder. Anything obsessive kind of is, I guess. But you can obsess about anything, right? I obsess about not obsessing about food right now. That's just either part of your personality or it isn't, probably, whether you get real caught up in these things. So, I always try to learn from what's going on. And for me, most of the people in my real world would say that I am obsessed to an unhealthy degree with either eating well or obsessing about not eating well. I'm aware of this. I'm aware that I think about it all the time. I feel like I have some valid reasons to think about it. And if I weren't as, quote, obsessed about it, I'd probably be a little less healthy than I am right now, because I wouldn't care what I eat. I'm just kind of an all or nothing kind of person. So I try to put it in perspective And I haven't even mentioned that over the last 6 months, I've been working on body image. I've been working to kind of try to love my curvy self and not try to come to terms with the fact that I'm never going to be that stick figure model that I'm not sure why I think I need to be. And just kind of liking who I am without, needing the thighs I'm never going to get. And that's a healthy thing to do, to focus on your family, to focus on your kids, to not focus on yourself so much. But it is a balance, because as soon as I stop really, quote, obsessing about it, boom, 5 more pounds. It's just the way that I am. I just eat healthy because I'm thinking about it. If I don't think about it, or plan for it, I just don't, and I get too far off track too quickly. So I found the article very interesting. It is kind of ridiculous. The way that we were looking at it on the chat board is like propaganda of trying to get people to not worry so much about clean eating, which that's ridiculous, right? But there's a lot of things going on over there on the chat board. You guys should check in. Thank you, Arturo, for putting that article on there. And you guys come over and weigh in on what you think about this stuff. And there's always a weekly accountability. That's very cool, that somebody opens a weekly check-in. If I could get better about the weekly check-in, I know the whole thing would better. So let's do another challenge. Challengers are awesome. I've kind of gotten burned out on challenges because the last few I've done, like, you get points for things that I don't agree with. I was in one where you would get points for eating whole grains as opposed to regular grains. I was like, I don't even eat grains, or I shouldn't. I don't think I should, so I don't want to be in a challenge that gives me points for that. So anyway, and then, the squat challenge, some people who did that with me know how that worked out. I don't know about doing a challenge where you do the same exact exercise every single day. That doesn't seem wise either. There's overuse injuries, and when do your muscles build if you're tearing them every single day? So no, let's do another check-in challenge. I think a check-in challenge would really help those of us like me who just need to get our head back in the game. So I'm recording this podcast in mid-November. I think we should do a December check-in challenge. Even if it's late in the game and people haven't heard the show, come to the check-in when you can. I'll put all the information on the MyFitnessPal community website. I'll put links in the show notes, because the old links from all the old shows don't work anymore. So I know people who are trying to catch up on shows are going and our links don't work, but I don't have time to go back and fix them all. But for moving forward, we'll put the new link in the MyFitnessPal group, how you get to be part of the group. And of course, in the show notes, I always have how you can get into to the Fitbit community, which I need to get my Fitbit back on, and how you can friend me on MyFitnessPal. And so, yeah, let's do a December check-in. That month that is so hard to stay focused, and everybody kind of throws in the towel because January is when we're all going to get started. Let's do our check-in challenge for December, and then we will have the winners on in January. And we need to go back and look at a January show where we all committed to some stuff that we wanted to see happen in 2014. That's interesting. Maybe on the next show I'll go back and look at what everybody said who wrote us with commitments. It's time to recommit, maybe. So that's about it for today. I'm sorry it's such a short podcast. I do want to just put something out, if nothing else, just to tell you guys thank you. And I am submitting a panel to a proposal to Paleo FX in the spring. I'm trying to be realistic, and when I go to these things, the things I want to talk about are how real people incorporate a healthier lifestyle into their real world. And so this is a very real year for me. I think it's important that people know about themselves and experiment with themselves, because I know what healthier looks like. For me, it's closer to a paleo diet. And I'm just having trouble wrapping my head around it. But I really think it's important for me to know what food does in my body. And, you know, on that note, I want to tell Philip, BJJ Caveman, thank you again for the very cool shirt. I'll wear it on the next show. It says, "My body is my lab." He sent me another great shirt. So check him out. I'll put his link in the show notes. If you're not following bjjcaveman.com, you're missing out. And thanks again, Jeff Fry. I'm still checking in. I'm still... I need the knowledge. I need to know what I need to do so that when I'm ready to get back on, and I'm thinking I'm ready, I can make better choices. At least better bad choices, and then better good choices. So, yeah, you guys stay healthy. Even if they're short podcasts, I'll try to get more of them out there. And we'll get Jack back on the show soon so y'all can hear more of a conversation instead of just a stream of consciousness from me. Thanks, everybody who's keeping the community going. Again, today's show notes are at FAT2FITHQ.com/107. This is episode 107 of the F2FHQ podcast, and we will be talking to you very, very soon. Go do something healthy. Thanks. Bye. Thanks for watching that video, but you should really come over and check out Fat2FitHQ.com. Getting healthy, staying healthy, does not need to be miserable. Sometimes you just need a friend to go along the journey with you. You'll find links to our Facebook page, our MyFitnessPal community, and a lot of ways that you can have company on this journey. Thanks again for watching. Go do something healthy. Bye.
This has been a production of the Firearms Radio Network. You can find more information at firearmsradio.tv.